So it's me, your little boy, Kisamson. This is something that many of us need to know about our season. Things that happen when your time comes. Many of us today are going through some tough time, and we are regretting, and we see it as a barrier. We see it as something that is evil. Many of us are going through tough time, but due to we are not able to figure out that when your time come, the pain increase. When your time come, the trouble increase. When your season come, the rejection increase. When your time come, the disappointment increase. That is why you need to understand that anytime you come to experience things that you have not been going through before, you have to understand that you are already so close to your manifestation. When you look at a woman, the definition and the history of a birth, you got to understand the fact that when a lady when a lady is pregnant, you got to understand that 1 month they don't feel something, they feel normal, they feel the way they feel before. When you get to one month, 2nd month, they still get that little feeling that something is what is like they eat overfeeding. When they get to 3 months, they feel like, am I eating too much? When they get to 4 months, they start to act dizzy. They start to act like there can't be, I can't move the way I used to move, because something is bouncing. But why is it that whenever it gets to 7 months, that is when the woman will start to act the way she never had before? The name she used to call you as a man, maybe she used to call you sweet, honey. She used to call you what, my tomato. She used to call you the sugar in my cupboard, the chin in my cupboard, all those kind of sweet name. You got to understand that time she'll start to call you. You are the reason why I'm going through what I'm going through. I will never do this again. I will never repeat this again. But when you get to 9 months, everything changed. The pain, 8 months, the pain increased, because that is the moment of delivery. So that is why you need to understand that you are troubled right now does not mean God wants you to be broken, or God wants to destroy you. It's because God wants you to reach your goal, because it's a season for you to manifest. Look at the life of Esther. When Esther was facing problem in the hands of Haman, in the beginning, Haman did not, Haman was not aware. Haman was just troubling him. Esther was praying. But when it get to the point where king was about to announce someone and favor someone, Haman decided to go and dig a pit in his own backyard. And he said he is going to bury what Esther and his brethren. The pain increased. Things start to go wrong. And Esther decided to fast. Esther decided to call his brethren. They joined their hands together and they fasted. And the Bible says, because it is time for Esther to manifest, that was the time Haman decided to go and dig the pit, thinking that he would bury Esther and his brethren, thinking that he will be the one that will be favored. So sometimes you are being troubled because your enemy have no idea what God is about to release into your life. Haman was not aware that what he was waiting for is something that God is about to use to shock him. That whom he was trying to frustrate is the same person that God is arranging that position and that gift for. That is why sometimes when people are troubling you, you don't need to revenge, you don't need to react, you just need to let God act. Because if peradventure Esther and his brethren gang up against Haman and do it and hurt Haman, you got to understand that Esther will have not been able to master the manifestation or enter into his promised land. Look at the life of Joseph. The Bible make me to understand that there was a man called Joseph. in the Old Testament that this man go through a lot in the hands of his brothers, and he still went to as a slave in Egypt. He went to sleep in Egypt. After everything, the pain increased. The moment he entered his promised place, the pain increased from what? From slavery, from guidance. They put him into prison, and when he was in the prison, the pain increased because people who supposed to help him, to beg the king to remember him, refused to remember him until Pharaoh had a dream. That's why you need to understand that when it is your turn, the pain increase. Listen, the Bible said the year Isaiah saw the Lord, Hosea died. Meaning that the year Hosea died, Isaiah was able to see the Lord. Meaning Hosea have become a barrier. And maybe when Hosea died, Isaiah was sad, not knowing that God removed Hosea in order for him to be promoted. Because sometimes when God is giving, when things are tough around you, that does not mean God caused some of them. Let me tell you, some of them are being caused by the enemy, thinking that they will use it to keep you down. But God, in his own divine way, used those obstacles to make confusion that your enemy may not be aware of what he is about to release in your life. Look at the life of this man called David. For instance, when David was in the ship, nobody recognized him. He was not troubled. He eat whatsoever he liked. He eat, even remain and carry to his brothers that were in the battlefield. Nobody troubled him. Nobody knew him. Nobody is even caring about him. But the Bible makes me to understand that the moment he stood on the way to battle with Goliath, the moment Goliath fought down, that marked the beginning of his what? Of his pain. That marked the beginning of his betrayal. That marked the beginning of his what? Of his rejection. That marked the beginning of his what? Of his battle in life. Because it is time for him to become the king. Because listen to me, when God is about to take you to your next position in life, you need to understand that something must go down before God can lift you. Yes. Some people said, why would God add this? Because our God is a God who is able to raise the nobody to the top and bring people who are arrogant to the dust. Yes, this is what God do. Before Isaiah start to manifest, Hosea have to die. Before Esther have to manifest, Haman ought to die. Before Samuel ought to manifest in his greatness, his own, let me say, brothers were down. Meaning that Eli children who lied, who were covering the glory of God, have to go down so that he can rise. So sometimes when God, when you are in trouble, when things are going tough around you, it is that time that God will use those things to lift you up while the pain go down. Because David never believed. David's intention was never to be a king. He is just there to help his people, retrieve from what? From, how will I say it? He is just there to deliver Israel from the hands of Goliath. Intention was never to be a king. But though he was being announced that David killed 10,000, while King Saul killed 1,000, that become the pain. That become the trouble. That create the calamity that King Saul heard and become so annoyed, and he went to the father to kill trying to kill David. That is why you need to understand that there are some of your enemy who gang up against you, because sometimes maybe they hear that you are about to hit, or maybe they hear good news that is coming to you, but God will not allow them, because sometimes when it is time for you to manifest, that is the time the pain increase. But never you pass by, never you withdraw, never you reduce, never you give up, because you have no idea what the next may be like. Remain blessed. May God bless you.